And let's go ahead and turn some audio on so that peeps can hear. And welcome back to the Couch Cooperative. Pleasure to have you guys here. I am your dungeon master. Well, actually, I'm not a dungeon master today because we're playing Call of Cthulhu. So I am your keeper of arcane lore as we're playing through Call of Cthulhu. And if you guys remember here on the channel over here, we play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. We're taking a break because we're going from one campaign to the other. And so we're going to add some fun little stuff kind of in that break time while we're getting our characters prepped for Campaign 4, which is to be determined when it will start, but we will announce it a couple weeks before we begin. We will be playing through the Curse of Strahd, which is going to be great. It's going to be awesome, so you got to be there. That being said, we're playing one-shots out of a little book known as the Gateways to Terror, Call of Cthulhu's Gateways to Terror. It's got 3 evenings of pretty simple one-shots. Made by Lee Carr, John Hook, and Todd Gardner, in which we've actually already played one of these adventures on the channel forever ago. We just never uploaded that video to YouTube, which is now kind of a bummer. But that was the Dead Border that we had played, in which the very same players I have here investigated the suspicious death of a guy in a boarding house, only to find out that he had given his life, his body, to a spectral entity who possessed him and turned him into a giant flesh monster. It was great. They all made it out alive, and they traumatized a little kid in the process. It was awesome. That being said, we're gonna take our horror today to a little bit of a classic trope, which is that of a cabin in the woods, because we are going to be playing through. Cool. We are going to be playing through the adventure that is known as What's in the Cellar. We have our characters already fully determined, and these are some preset characters. So, of course, there's one thing that I forgot. I actually got to send pictures of the character sheets to you guys real quick. So I'm going to do that and get these all prepped for you. I'm just going to send these in our... Actually, you know what? I will take these and post these straight to Discord. So you should be able to find them in the general text channel of our Couch Co-op Discord server. And this will also have your character backstories.
Let's go.
So I'm going to try to be as very clear as possible when taking these photos so that it makes your life very simple. We have our second character. Has your traits. I'm going to give you guys a little bit to talk about it while I talk about some stuff on the channel, because this is going to be a very short game. And then I will give you guys that time so that you can study your stuff. So feel free to kind of read through these. These are now all being posted to our Discord right now, which is great. So, Nice. So you guys should be seeing those pop in. And then, as a reminder, this will be getting uploaded to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel presently, we actually have I've added a new playlist. So we have 4 current playlists on there, which is our first campaign, which is the Tyranny of Dragons. That's 2 full-length campaigns blended into 1 grand campaign. So we have both the Horde of the Dragon Queen and the Rise of Tiamat all in length in 1 41 episode playlist. Followed by the Storm King's Thunder, followed by the Shadow of the Crystal, or sorry, the Shadow Palace, which was our 2-shot level 20 little campaign scenario that we did to close out the Sword of the Council, and then we also have our 3rd campaign, which is the Princes of the Apocalypse. So all of those playlists are there, but there's now an additional playlist which is just one-shots. So it's going to have all of our different types of one-shots that we uploaded. I uploaded our last week's stream, which was a unpolished jump into my homebrew world that I've been working on, known as Develdian, where we did the Plight of Seraphhelm. And so that's where I'm going to be uploading this as well, so you start to see that stuff. Also, we will be taking, I do know for fact, we'll be taking at least a 1-week break in between our last game that we're doing in this little break between campaigns, and then the start of Curse of Strahd. And that's because I make sure to always have 1 session 0 with all of my players. We may need to add 2, but we're not determined on that. We're fixed on 1. It depends on how that goes. So I know for a fact we have 1 week. We'll announce when that is when it happens. So just be mindful that there may be a week where you don't see an upload to YouTube or you don't see us live here on Twitch, and it's totally fine either way. We're still going to be hanging out, and that's because we'll be, as a team, going to be working through just some last bits of character creation and getting that stuff all wrapped out so that by the time we get to Barovia, we can play it in a little bit of a way that maybe hasn't been done before, but not stray at all from the uniqueness and really the power of that campaign's world. Curse of Strahd is one of the greatest campaigns, and so it's a little bit of a daunting challenge for me because I got to hold it with as much respect as humanly possible. So we'll see.
Oh, it felt pretty good when you turned me into a fucking demon.
That did happen. We have played this campaign once, which was great. And I did sacrifice him to Strahd and turn him into a chain devil. It was great, and probably not going to happen again. Just gonna be completely honest, but.
Hey, Katray, I'll tell you how to make it happen.
Right. Fortunately for you guys, the campaign structure is going to be new and unique because we have the Taroka deck system, and there's no way I'm pulling the same Taroka cards as I did the last time. So the campaign structure is going to be different. It's going to feel nice, and we have some cool ways that we're going about some stuff, so it's going to be awesome. Has that given you guys enough time to look at your character sheets and read through your stuff real quick?
Yeah, I read.
Perfect. So then we can go ahead and jump right on in. So we open up with a little bit of some setup, okay? And when I'm done with the setup, I'm going to read you a couple of things. So just listen. Today is Saturday, March 2nd, 1929, 8 months after Arthur Blackwood was arrested for the murder of his wife. As you enter the law office of Joseph Klein, you look upon a breathtaking view of the New York skyline. Klein bids you welcome and gestures for you to take a seat. Sitting on Klein's desk is a large box with a pair of strange wheels and a row of buttons on its face. "Thank you for coming," Klein says as he shakes your hand. "As you are aware, Arthur Blackwood is facing the electric chair, trying to negotiate a lifetime prison sentence, but the outlook is bleak." He puts a folded newspaper and slides it over, and it's a newspaper from 8 months ago, printed on Wednesday, July 20th, volume 39, number 363, from the Daily Telegraph. Titled at the top, in bold letters, "Grisly Whitehall Murder." Prominent New York attorney Arthur Blackwood was arrested yesterday and charged with the murder of his wife, Rosemary. Mr. Blackwood was discovered wandering the countryside near his family vacation cabin located in Whitehall, New York. It is reported that Mr. Blackwood was disoriented and covered in blood. On arrival, the local sheriff discovered evidence of the heinous murder of Mrs. Blackwood despite the disappearance of her body, when questioned about his wife's whereabouts, Mr. Blackwood was unable to respond. Klein places a hand on the strange box on his desk. "This is a magnetic voice recorder. I use it to record conversations with defendants, so you can hear the exact statement in their own words. These are brand new, and the company," and he gives a little pat, "that makes them is a client of ours, so we got access to this prototype." He presses a button on it and says, "Arthur has a message for you." As the wheels begin to spin and the clicking of the mechanisms begin to turn, you hear Arthur's scratchy voice emanate from the box. Cousin, please. You must help me. I can't explain. I've never believed the stories, for they were too fantastic to be real. But the Blackwood family line is both blessed and cursed. A genie lives in the cellar of the family cabin, but to control it you must find my ring. I dropped it, I think, in the cellar." His voice getting louder with his emphasis. "Please, find my ring. Prove to the police that the genie exists. Please, I implore you, find my ring, for it is the only thing that could prove my innocence." Klein opens a manila folder. He shows you a photograph of the cellar beneath the Blackwood cabin. It shows dark earthen walls lined with shelves and a white floor of crushed shells and gravel. A large amount of blood is splashed and splattered across the floor. "Now, as you can see, there's no such thing as a genie," Klein says. "Poor Arthur has been under incredible stress over the last few years. He must have eventually snapped and butchered his wife." Klein then gives you a key to the cabin and a letter granting you access to the property should the local authorities want to know why you're there. "It's only because I still love and respect Arthur that I'm even entertaining his request to have you search the cellar for anything to clear his name. And with that, I bid you good luck. You should take the brief moment to introduce yourselves to each other so that you at least understand who is being sent to this cabin in order to find this alleged evidence?
My character steps forward, and he, being a psychologist, he's dressed in business casual, so like dress slacks with a button-up shirt, but it's like tucked in, but it's tucked in loose, and he doesn't have a tie, and the top 2 buttons or whatever are undone, and he's just got like greased back hair.
Right.
And he steps forward, and he's like, "Well, I'm a psychologist, and I'm here to make sure that this guy was crazy enough to do what he did before they put him in the electric chair. So we'll see about that."
Yes, we have hired you to see if we can enter in a plea of insanity, which should spare him from the electric chair, but would probably intern him to a life in an institution.
Well, that still remains to be debated.
Well, if you can prove he's crazy, then probably won't be able to get him out of that jiffy. They'll probably demand him get locked up in a nearby asylum, probably Arkham.
Well,
It is what it is.
You say crazy, I say suffering.
May I ask, do you think he did it?
Do I think he did it? Well, there's no evidence currently to the contrary. We're quite in a very sticky situation here. He was last seen at the location of the crime, and he was apprehended by local authorities, doused in blood.
But you've worked alongside him for quite a while now, haven't you?
For countless years.
You've, as a partner, as someone you've known for that long, do you think he would do it?
I do know that Mr. Blackwood has been under quite a bit of stress here at work, and from the brief conversations I've had, that stress is starting to get to him and weigh on him quite heavy. And I had heard of some small complications in their marriage as a result of the stress, not being home and having to deal with constantly working, and I told him to take a vacation, and so he took his wife up to their vacation home, and she did not return.
What the guy who is speaking to us right now, what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Joseph Klein. He's they're legal partners in their line of work.
I want to look at Joseph, and I want to say, well, before we start to work too much, I think everyone should share their names.
That's literally what I've just asked you to do. Doctor, are you needing to be put inside of an institution?
No, I just said I'm Levi.
What is happening right now?
I said I'm Levi, and I said everyone else should say what their names are.
My name is James.
He looks to you, the author. Before you say your name, he looks to you, Joseph Klein, and goes, "Surely you heard me say you should all introduce yourself to each other so you know who's partaking in this adventure."
I didn't say that.
I'm not going crazy, am I? I said that out loud.
I'm just saying that we got sidetracked, and I wanted to. Okay. I wanted to retract.
He downs a shot of whiskey really quick and goes, "I thought for a second I was going nuts."
Can you not do that in front of me?
Oh, my bad. Are you one of those? I don't like. Are you one of those pro-prohibition types?
I'm from Utah.
Ugh. Enough said.
Yeah, forgive me. Sorry, my temper, it gets the best.
Well, Master, Greaves, is it?
Oh, where's that message?
Yeah, the name's Rupert Greaves. Me and Arthur go far back. I know him slightly. The request for me to come was quite peculiar.
He said you're related, and that's why he sent you an invitation.
Pick one. What do you mean? Do you know him or do you not know him?
We're related. Our great-grandmother.
That doesn't mean anything.
All right, Mr.
Well,
I won't.
That's all fine and dandy, I guess. If you're all
Are you really qualified to be here right now? Are you sure you should be here?
It is Mr. Blackwood's express request that his cousin be along to prove his innocence and collect evidence. He's not authorized to collect evidence by the courts, but to search the Blackwood family cabin as a representative on his behalf.
He should stay behind us.
I do also think that while he does add a level of nepotistic bias to the nature of our case, he also ensures that the two of you don't fall out of line and play around with the evidence to try to skew things in our favor. Not that I hired any skeezy types of people. You both are great people to have hired. But I think in the eyes of the public, this is something that they'll definitely want to just make sure that we got people on the ground with you. So we're trying to make sure that this case is airtight.
Sure, a cousin he barely speaks to. The most professional. Of course, sir. Then I'll kind of
most professional that we could get. Let's not lie to ourselves. But it was his express. He did write it and state it in the. You heard the thing. But that's besides the point. Listen, I have a couple of legal briefs I need to start writing. So here's the key, and he writes the address to the cabin in Whitehall, New York. And here's the address to the cabin. There is a car outside waiting to take you there. And you just have to give this to the driver, and he will drive you there promptly.
Who's driving? The driver. What's his name?
Oh, the driver. He's one of those, someone that we get to pay for a little cheap. You catch my drift.
No.
And, yeah, so he kind of slips that in, he gives you guys the paper, and, you guys head down to the car?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so you guys get down to the car, and there's a young Italian boy who's currently waiting to drive you guys, kind of in his probably late teens or early 20s, pretty young. He's like, "Oi, hey, ready to drive you guys down to the cabin?" And got kind of like a New Yorker and a bit of a New Yorker and Italian accent, even though it's awful. But you won't talk to him again, so it's all good. And
I don't like.
What were you gonna say?
I don't like that he knows what's going on. He's a cab driver, right?
He's not a cab driver. He's just a driver.
He's a hired driver?
He's a hired driver, which means he's probably part of the legal chauffeur system. Anyways, they drive you to the Blackwood cabin, this man. And the Blackwood cabin is this small one-story house with 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen, and a large parlor. There is a trap door that's in the parlor that you guys will get to that's going to lead you into the cellar. But having set out from Klein's office, you've already looked around the main rooms of Blackwood's cabin, found nothing of interest or relevance to the case. You are now looking through the trap door into the cellar where the police say that Rose's murder took place. Now, everything in the cabin, just to note, everything in the cabin is neat, clean, and orderly. So it is assumed that you guys have already browsed through the main part of the cabin, found nothing unusual. Everything that you found did not look out of place. And while looking into the cellar from the open trapdoor in the parlor, your view is extremely limited. Light from the parlor spills through the hatch, illuminating a ladder, some shelving, and the white shell and gravel floor. You can make out that the shelves hold jars, small boxes, other knickknacks. Everything is covered in a thick layer of dust. You also note that the cellar has no lighting, so you'll need to use your own lanterns and flashlights, and large cobwebs hang everywhere.
Ew, I hate that shit, dude. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, the floor of the cellar is white, as it's comprised of a layer of crushed seashells and pea gravel.
Ethan, you ever played Call of Duty with the knife and the gun?
Yeah.
I want to look for the ring.
I'll go downstairs like that. No, just kidding.
I mean, you can have your weapon drawn to clear the room, but
no,
it's
that's
already a cordoned off
dramatic.
crime scene, so you would probably have reason to believe that it's safe in here.
Yeah, that'd be dramatic.
It's just dark. So you guys need some lighting so you can see.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket. I'm gonna reach into my pocket and can I strike a match for aesthetic purpose and like light something? like a lantern on the wall and carry it in?
There's no lanterns that are inside the cellar, but your author companion has a lantern, a little handheld lantern. So you can, if you want to strike the match and light his lantern, and then pull your flashlight out. You would have a flashlight as the detective, with fresh batteries, because it's already. Well, I don't know if they had to have had some type of battery system, something. But you have a flashlight.
Okay. Instead, I'm gonna grab my pack of matches. I'm gonna toss it to the author,
Rupert,
and then I'm gonna pull my flashlight out. Rupert,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was my friend from elementary school's dog's name.
Oh,
Rupert.
way to go.
Rupert and Earl.
Way to go. So, like I said, the entire floor is covered in this white gravel shell mixture, and it crunches underneath your boots. You guys have to descend a ladder in order to get down. You guys are all fully inside of this cellar, and the house structure of the cellar is kind of like an L shape, okay? But I want you to take an L, flip it, and then rotate it, okay? So you guys are on the short end of the... Yeah, okay. You guys are on the short end of the L. You guys are up at the top, and the cellar is going to go basically from your perspective to the right, and then down, okay? So that's kind of where you're at. So you guys have the opportunity to start to look in here and try to see what it is that you can find. Let me go ahead and... Let me describe a couple of the things that you can naturally see with the lighting that you have, okay? So immediately on your left, as you descend, there is a baseball bat and a baseball that are kind of nestled on one of the shelves, again covered in a thick layer of dust. You see right like at the end of that, there is a shovel and a hoe, so you have some like gardening equipment. You can see next to those is a set of unfilled lanterns. So at one point they could have been usable, but because they don't have any lantern oil in them, they're not usable now. And then immediately on your right, there seems to be a hammer that's on one of the shelves. Now there would be some other items that are along the other shelves, but you're not on that side of the house or on the cellar to look at it. And the entire floor is covered.
Can I turn my flashlight off? And then what's your name, Nick?
Dr. Wilford.
Levi Wilford.
And then I'm going to try and scare Levi, and I'm gonna like grab his shoulders and then go boo. And I'm gonna try and scare Levi.
Okay.
You like to roll for that?
Go ahead and make we'll call it a power roll.
What roll? What dice? 2d10?
For Levi, yeah, he would roll it.
I rolled 2d10.
Yeah, 2d10, and because it's all a d100 roll.
I got a 9 and a 3.
A 9 and a 3. Do you have a tens place one?
Oh,
Yeah, whichever is your 10.
You want one of those?
No, whatever is your 10. So you
Oh.
honestly one roll.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry. I didn't understand.
But you got a 90.
Oh, okay. 95.
95?
Yeah.
Okay. The unease of this cellar, knowing that it's the scene of a grisly crime, puts you in a very unsettling position. So when the detective decides to turn his flashlight off and make it darker, and then turn to you and give you a quick sudden jolt and a boo, you can't help but be caught off guard and get startled. And it adds to the tension, it adds to the stress of being in this tight area. It's dark, it's enclosed, and you know someone's been killed here. So it's just stressful.
I'm gonna turn my flashlight back at his face, and I'm gonna go, ha 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 ha. That was funny.
For you.
Well, okay. All right. I'll keep looking around.
Keep searching.
Okay, so what are you guys searching in particular?
For the ring.
Where do you want to search for it?
In the gravel.
Okay, go ahead, and if you want to dig through kind of some of the gravel here, I need you to go ahead and make a luck roll.
Is that it's a D10 and a D10?
Yeah, it's always a D100, and you want to roll low.
I got you. Oh, come on, man. 83.
83. You're tossing aside some of these pieces of shell and gravel, trying to look to see if if you can find an item in here. And because
wait, because that wasn't even. I don't even think that was lower than what my luck score right now is.
You're right. So it's a failure, right? And so as you're digging through, you didn't say whether or not you went and grabbed anything. So I'm assuming you're digging with your bare hands. You are going to go ahead and take 1 point of damage as the gravel and all of it like scrapes against your hands. It's just so yeah.
I don't give up though. I keep searching.
Okay. You would continue to take damage though, now that you know that this gravel is really rough and is difficult to use bare hands. Fortunately enough, there's a shovel on the wall. If you want to go grab it, that might make your life a little easier, so you're avoiding damage, but you can keep digging.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, and then Rupert, while he's digging through the gravel, and eventually you hear him like, fuck. And you can tell he's hurt himself. What is it that you're doing? Where do you want to search?
Wait, you said there was something like along the wall before you go down?
There's several things along the walls.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to go to the other side of the cellar, the long side? Because you guys are still on the short side. Like, you guys are still by the ladder.
Yeah, okay. Can I look at the other side?
Yeah, so you take your lantern and you walk around the side. And when you walk around the side, one of the things that really points out to you is, like, on the long wall towards the corner, on the shelf, on one of the shelves, you can see a dagger. And if you look along the wall, the other 3 items that mark out that are on the shelves are a cavalry saber, like a war saber, a wrench, and a trowel, which is like I think a digging item.
Like a hoe, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there is a hoe on the other wall. She's not saying. No, I'm just kidding. Awful. No, there is a hoe on the other wall though, with the shovel.
Okay, so you said there was a trowel, a dagger, and a saber, and then what else?
And then a dagger, a wrench. It was a wrench.
A wrench.
A trowel's the little handheld tool for digging. The small one?
Yeah.
That's the trowel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do any of them look like damaged or anything? Like they've been used?
They look old, and so they're all caked in dust. Nothing here looks as if it's been used recently. The rest of the shelves are just lined with boxes and other things. But those are the items that like mark themselves out. So, as you guys, at this point, Dr. Wilford would have grabbed the shovel. But as he's coming back with the shovel, Detective, what is it that you want to be looking around?
I'd like to go a little bit farther down the hallway and just look for anything. I mean, Smith is, it's kind of broad, but I guess anything out of the ordinary that doesn't belong in a basement.
You don't see on a surface level view, nothing looks out of the ordinary. So you're gonna have to get in there.
What's at the end of the tunnel?
No, it's just a basement. So it's at the side that Rupert's at currently is the side that has like the war saber and. He's next to the saber and the wrench specifically, but every wall is lined with shelves that have boxes on them and cans and stuff. So you guys are gonna have to, if you want to search through them, you can. You just gotta let me know. Otherwise, you can continue to try to dig through the floor. Maybe check out stuff by the ladder.
The boxes marked at all, or is that kind of?
The boxes don't give any indication that they're marked for like what's in them.
Can I check out the war saber?
Yeah, you go straight over to the war saber, and it just is absolutely caked in dust. So,
can I wipe it off?
You could try to if you had something that was capable of wiping it off, but it would gather dust on that rather quickly. So if you had like a handkerchief or something, you would absolutely ruin it in a matter of seconds.
Can I ruin a handkerchief?
Yeah, you pull out a handkerchief and cover, I would say, probably the handle and just a small part of the sheath. And then pull out the blade, and it's an old war saber that was ceremoniously retained from the recent because this would only be like 60 years ago, the recent Civil War that had happened. All of you guys were not a part of it, but most of you guys were born relatively short after it. psychologist actually would have been born several years after the Civil War had ended. So you guys had grown up hearing about, the Civil War happening, and so this is just an old war. And because we're from New York, this would be a Union blade. The Blackwoods fought on the side of the Union. Which, under President Abraham Lincoln, was capable of defeating the secessionists, the Confederates.
Where am I at right now?
You're back in the area that's by the ladder, and you're still digging, but you just got your shovel. So now go ahead and make another luck roll.
Oh man! God dang it, dude! 98.
98. You were on this side of the house. You find nothing.
God dang.
Can I walk over to Nick?
Yeah. You walk over and you hear Crunch because he's now got a shovel and he's like digging in there and grabbing stuff, and he's kind of honestly he's like picking it up with the shovel and like tossing it to the side and moving things. You hear the clatter and it's a lot, and so you turn around and immediately go over to his area.
Would you like some help there, buddy?
What are these for? Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for the ring. If I can find the ring, then I can articulate that he was so enfathomed by the ring that whatever voices he was hearing in his head were actually controlling him, and I can prove his innocence in the court.
Is there a rake? Can I look around for a rake?
There's not a rake, there's a hoe. The hoe you can use because it's the flat edge that you use to plow through stuff. So that's the only, unless you want to go grab the trowel, the hoe's all you got.
I'm gonna go okay. I'm gonna go grab the trowel. No, sorry. I'm gonna go grab the hoe.
The hoe. Okay, so you grab
and
the
hoe. I'm gonna start sifting through the rocks with the hoe.
Okay, go ahead and make a luck roll.
21.
And what's your luck at?
I don't know. Oh, I have to roll 3d6. Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
For your luck, it should be.
It's roll 3d6 and multiply result by 5 for luck.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
She did.
My luck is a 65.
A 65. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you definitely succeed. That would be considered, I think, at minimum, it would be a hard success, not an extreme. And so as you're digging, you've moved a little bit away from the ladder and start to dig with the hoe. And fair enough that you're using the hoe because you get one solid scrape in that right corner of the basement, and you start to scatter the gravel, this gravel and seashell mix, and you find two things that really disturb you as a detective. The first thing you do is you start to notice that there's a white substance that is mixed, a solid substance that's mixed amongst the seashells and the gravel mixture, and you know right away that those are human bones.
Oh.
The second is that when you've taken the hoe through the mixture, it opens up this like mixed up flooring, and you see gray stone with red like marking on it. You don't know how big this is, but you do a good streak, and it looks to be decently long, so you may need to take some time clearing out the rest of it to figure out what's fully under this, but there's something under this.
I will do that.
Okay.
Everyone, come over here, quick. Look what I found.
Well, you're in the midst of uncovering it, so I'm going to give everyone a chance to look for some stuff while you're doing that.
Oh, I thought.
Seeing that the detective's actually pretty hard at work, that he's found something. And you can definitely say, hey, I found something, give me a moment. And so you're digging it out. So Rupert, what is it that you want to be doing? You see the detective is like very intensely like raking with this farming hoe, the gravel mixture. You're still on the long end of the basement. What would you want to look for?
I mean, it's just boxes and then the weapons, right?
Well, it's boxes and other items. So, like, yeah, weapons, but they're just items. So you can look through the boxes that, if you want.
Could I do that? Just look through the boxes?
Absolutely you can. Go ahead and make a spot hidden roll for me, please.
Roll low. 18.
What's my spot hidden? Oh, my spot hidden sucks. Hey, I got a 65.
A 65 out of what?
It says 35%.
Okay, so it is a failure. But I do get to allow you to make a library use roll. So you stop looking under the boxes and you find a shelf that's lined with books. Being an author, this is exactly up your alley. So go ahead and roll a library use roll.
Okay, that'd be good.
Okay. I'm gonna use some of my luck just to drop it down.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 59, but my library use is a 45, so I'm just gonna use luck points to do 45.
So with the success, with a good little bit of some Blackwood family luck, as you would, you actually find a scrapbook that is uniquely a Blackwood family scrapbook. So you go ahead and pull it out, and as you flip through it, you begin to notice that it has a collection of newspaper articles with the following headlines. The fire that devastates the valley in 1799, the influenza count rises in 1837, the Meadowy floodwaters in 1858, the Washington County drought in 1881, and local man struck by lightning in 1901. And so as the detective is currently now digging through, trying to uncover something out of the ground, you take this brief moment to start to really flip through and read some of these. And what you find is actually a little bit peculiar. Nothing that you've ever come across before, but now you understand a little bit about what Arthur, your cousin, was trying to speak to you about over this recorded message about the Blackwood family being blessed. Through each of the articles, you begin to realize that each one of them features a tragic incident involving a member of the Blackwood family who, against all odds, miraculously survives or endures the event. The article headlined "Local Man Struck by Lightning" features a young Arthur Blackwood and describes how he survived direct lightning strike while digging up an old tree stump. His family's lucky. His family's lucky. And so you're flipping through that, and Levi, back to you, Dr. Levi.
Yeah.
What would you want to do? You see Rupert reading, but he's reading through something. He's flipping through a book, and you have the detective in the corner that's using a hoe to rake something out of the shell mix.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest question too, like other than looking for the ring, was whether or not there was still evidence of the crime at all, like, and whether or not that was down in the basement.
There's nothing that was immediate. So you didn't see a body, you didn't see massive amounts of like blood splatter. I mean, everything happened 8 months ago, and so you imagine that the investigators already kind of handled whatever was initially here.
Yeah. No. So I mean, so at that point, my only thing would be the ring, and as far as my character is aware, the ring has not been found yet by anyone, right?
Correct. The ring has not been found yet.
Yeah. So, and the only way there's no other there's no doors down in the cellar.
No. It's just a ladder.
Yeah.
You can check the ladder if you want. If you want to go look at the ladder, you can look at the ladder. That is an option.
I mean, I guess I'll see if the ring didn't get caught on it. I doubt it.
Yeah,
but
so taking a brief moment, you put your shovel kind of in the mixture and you walk over to the ladder. And you take a quick look at the ladder and you notice something, is that it extends downwards into the crushed shell and gravel floor instead of resting on top of it. So the clue suggests that it may be worth digging into the floor a little bit more around. Obviously, the initial point of entry is this wasn't the initial point of the grounding level. So you go ahead and take your shovel and go right back to digging around the actual ladder, and you uncover something. And you also find out in this area that there's something else, this solid white substance mixed in here. And you find a small layer of human bones. that are right by the ladder. And now, while most of the bones are crushed and somewhat unrecognizable, like random little bone fragments that could be parts of a finger or parts of a toe or parts of like a fragment of a fuller bone, what you do find is something that's a little bit more peculiar. And I need you to decide if you want to make a first aid, a medicine, or a biology roll, or you could just make a no roll.
Known. I want to make a known roll.
Okay.
Oh, wait. He's going to pull up my sheet. Tell me what's in the bed.
Yeah, so first aid, medicine, or biology are the first three options, and then there's just a no roll.
First aid, biology, medicine.
Your first aid first aid and medicine are both 60, so it's really good.
All right, I'm gonna do medicine.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
I got a 65. What?
You can use your luck points.
I'm gonna use luck to meet it.
Okay, so you pull something out of the ground that looks to be a partial human skull. To which pieces of desiccated flesh still cling. That means dehydrated.
Oh, no.
With your medicine check, you identify it as a female cranium, as well as noting that there are deep tooth marks scratched into its surface. The flesh clinging to it indicates that death was approximately 8 months ago, corroborating that in your hands is a partial fragment of Rose Blackwood's skull. Doing this causes a sanity roll for you as you recognize this horrific fact. So I need you to go ahead and make a sanity roll for me.
Oh goodness.
No one else, just him.
I don't know, what is my sanity?
Your sanity check's really good. 60.
60. I got an 84 out of 60.
Okay, so you go ahead and take a D3 of sanity loss. Let's go ahead and roll that. And I rolled a 1, so you take 1 point of sanity loss. And you hold that piece of Rose's skull in your hand, and you confirm that this woman had to have died from some form of a vicious animal attack, meaning already it is highly unlikely that Arthur Blackwood is responsible for Rose's death. No person is capable of doing the damage that you're seeing, that you're holding in the palm of your hands at all.
Can I put that? Do I have a bag on me that I can put that in?
You do not have a bag, but you are not authorized to hold evidence. There is one person in this party that is given authorization by the courts to collect evidence officially, and you know that it's the detective.
I'm gonna hold it until he notices it.
He is busy. He's busy and he's digging something out.
So I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it right in front of my little tummy like this for now.
Okay. So our good old detective, you finish uncovering whatever it was that was in here. And by the way, this is a sizable circle that has been etched into the ground, clearing the dust and the bones away. And by this point, I would say that Rupert is done reading about Arthur's lightning strike, and you look over and see what is going on. And Rupert, you also notice that Dr. Wilford is holding some human remains in his hand, which is a little suspicious. But clearing the dust and the bones away, you can see the full extent of a symbol that's carved into the floor. It looks like an ornate sigil. Because you're the first to uncover it, Mr. Detective Man, I need you to go ahead and make either an occult roll or a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
I don't have either of those.
You don't have a skill at all?
Yeah.
Okay, then you cannot make that roll. You have no idea what these are. And it looks very peculiar.
I'm an occult writer.
I'm going to look up at the two people commissioned to come with me.
And as you do that, you see Dr. Wilford, in his hands, is holding the remains, like a fragmented and destroyed remains of a human skull.
What are you, some kind of freak? Why are you holding on to the skull?
No, this is...
Give that here.
This is Rosemary. And I'm going to go and I'm going to hand him the skull.
And he hands it to you, and you recognize with a little bit of disgust, and because of that, I need you to go ahead and make a sanity roll as well.
Your mom.
And also from you, Rupert, as he's casually saying, this is Rosemary's skull. I need Rupert to also make one.
I got a 46, and my sanity is 50.
Okay, so you only take 1 point of sanity loss then, for the success.
2. What's your standing?
45.
Oh, you failed, son.
Okay, so you take a 1d3, so I rolled a 3, which means you take 2 points of sanity loss.
Please. Oh, there's no erasing again. No.
Yep. And by this point, you go ahead and hand the skull over to the detective. The detective, you said Mr. Detective Baker, right?
Yeah.
So Detective Baker goes ahead and puts it in an evidence bag. And then
After I do that, I wipe
you,
up with a handkerchief.
Yep. And then the 3 of you are left looking at this strange symbol on the floor that has been uncovered. Sweat is wiped off of Detective Baker's brow as he goes and shows you this sigil on the floor. And Rupert, you're still holding onto that scrapbook. You have it closed, but you've read the contents of it, but you have it closed currently, and you're just holding onto that and looking at this sigil. Rupert, you are our occult author. If you want to go ahead and make an occult roll or a Cthulhu Mythos roll, you may. Your choice.
Tell us.
Occult roll.
Go for it.
Ooh. 18.
That is.
That's pretty good. Unless your occult is probably low, then we're like 10.
No, my occult is 65.
Oh, shoot.
So you said you rolled an 18?
You rolled an 18 out of 65.
So that I think that's a hard success for you, because extreme would be like closer to 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Can I use luck to make it a critical
No.
success?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Not off the top of my head.
I have 18 and it's a 13.
Yeah, but you can't. You can only do it to meet it. You can't do that to like increase the level of success you have. I promise, dude. Because I remember that was.
You might be right.
Damn it. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's so good. Though. It's a hard.
It's a hard success. Yeah, it's totally good.
It says luck points can be used to roll. So here, using luck. Here's the compendium.
No way.
Winning certain death, luck recovery, critical successes and fumbles. A critical success only arises from the natural dice roll of 1. Should luck be used to lower a roll to a 1, the result is always an extreme success. The only exception is if this was in combat. As with standard, a naturally rolled critical success means something beneficial happens.
That's like nat 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just says here that it just is used to affect the roll. So I'm not seeing anything, but I'm also not looking hard enough that dictates that specifically. So I'm gonna rule just for the sake of the one shot. We're gonna call it cool. And if I'm wrong, then YouTube will drop a comment and tell me I suck as a keeper, and that's fair. I've only had like 4 games.
Oh, I think I was wrong. I think you can do it.
So we'll give it a shot. So you go ahead and use a couple points to get an extreme success, and you immediately recognize that this sigil has protective, wardic characteristics to it, suggesting that this is meant to stop something, either from escaping or perhaps to bind it to this place.
Oh no. I know what that is.
Dr. Wilford and Mr. Baker.
Yes.
This symbol, this sigil they have on the ground it's a defensive sigil to keep something either locked in or to keep something away.
So he was crazy.
Well, that depends on your beliefs.
Yeah, or that genie is really locked into.
I'm gonna start taking notes and writing down what we're seeing and what I've heard. And
as you pull out your notepad, you go ahead and take a quick breath, and as you exhale, you notice something a little peculiar. You can see your breath now, and it's now catching your attention that the temperature has begun to drop a little bit, enough to see your own breath, but cold enough to be noticeable. But you guys aren't shivering.
Have we all noticed that?
Yes, yeah.
We're in the walking fridge.
Was it always this cold? Actually,
No.
I'll say that. Okay. I'm gonna say that though.
Yeah.
Was it always this cold?
No, it wasn't. I want to ask you.
Something is strange about that sigil.
You know about the sigil. Is there a way that we can disrupt it? Can we break the chain or keep it in or whatever you say it does?
Rupert, you would know that this type of sigil, again, the sigil suggesting characteristics that it's designed to restrain something. It's a protective measurement. It's a ward that's designed to bind something here. To break it would assume then that you are releasing it. And the question is, if this is real, if this is even remotely possible, which you've studied into these types of things and have heard about stories of these types of sorcerers and shamans attempting to protect themselves from unearthly spirits, if that was remotely possible, then binding it to protect people from it would be important. But that's not what Arthur described. Arthur described a genie. To bind a genie here, that would make sense why the family's so lucky. They're milking it. But surely genies aren't real. Surely not. Surely this is all happenstance. Coincidence. Those thoughts wander through your head.
I need to find the ring, so I'm going to keep looking for the ring.
Okay, go ahead and make another luck roll. As he takes his shovel and starts to dig across.
Oh, shoot, baby. All right, let's go. I got a 26 out of 59.
Good. We'll get to you in just a moment. While he's digging, what do you two want to do?
I'm going to look at you guys and say, we shouldn't mess with police evidence.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't think we should mess with that sigil.
I'm shoveling furiously.
But, Mr. Baker, the Blackwood family has had a lot of luck. I found out while reading this family photo novel they have.
I want to interject while I'm shoveling. You hear me say, yeah, my grandma said something about that, but she was crazy. And then I kept shoveling.
Well, yes. It looks like Arthur was struck by lightning when he was a young boy. And
so was my grandpa.
He was talking about a genie.
What? Yeah, my grandfather got... My grandfather told me a story about how he used to walk to school uphill both ways, and every year, once a year, he would get struck by lightning on his way to school. That Arthur fella ain't that special.
Well, I'm saying he was talking about a genie, and it's not just Arthur, it's the whole family.
No, I know, but I don't care whether or not he's lucky. I just care whether or not he's sent to the electric chair. That's... Well,
Detective, while they're talking about the family stuff, I want you to go and make a spot hidden roll really quick, because you're writing notes, and now I'm imagining that your character's surveying the room and still writing stuff that you're seeing. So go ahead and make a spot hidden roll.
33 out of 55.
Amazing. You make 2 deductions. The first is, as you're looking around, you notice a couple areas on the jars and stuff, because you're on the side by the ladder. You notice a couple of the jars and boxes contain small elements of blood splatter. Very dry, very old, and unclean blood splatter, which would corroborate that this place was the source of a pretty violent attack. There's only a slight problem. You look back around the floor, and what you initially chopped up to investigative work, there's nothing that is capable, presently, for the police to clean up blood out of a gravel mixture. It's not possible. And yet, all of the gravel mixture is clean. There's no dry blood, there's no stains. And now that you have the secured fragment of Rose's skull, and you look at it, you see the teeth marks. Whatever did this could not have possibly been Arthur, but it couldn't possibly have been human. There should be a lot of blood, dry blood, everywhere. And yet, there's none. You jot that down in your notebook. And as you go to flip the notebook closed so that you can look it back again, you notice a peculiar looking box that seems to be caught between two boxes, behind two boxes on the shelf. So you go over there and you move these two boxes aside, and you find a moldy old box.
I'll open it.
Okay, you grab it as safely as you can and put it onto the floor, and you find that this moldy box contains old photographs, drawings, and journals. You begin to look through these items, and the first thing you do is you pull out a small painting. This painting depicts a very stern-looking man in Puritan clothing, right? An ostentatious black jeweled ring in one of his fingers immediately catches your eye. On the back of the painting is written Wizard Milton Blackwood. The second thing that you do...
Wizard?
Yes, and as you kind of like put that off to the side, you go to look at the other thing, which I was going to get to.
Like Grand Wizard?
No. He's wearing Puritan clothing, so he's got like a black friar frock on. He's not wearing... So, in the history, the Ku Klux Klan wasn't created until after the Civil War. This is before the Civil War. So, close to time period. It's a good question, but no. So something weird. Like you've heard stories about things that have happened historically in this country in a place called Salem, and about people being referred to as witches and sorcerers. It has that vibe to it, but it has a person that looks like the type of person that would levy those accusations, not receive those accusations. And so as you're like moving this off to the side, you're not necessarily putting it down, but you're just trying to like move it over out of view so you can look at what's next. You begin to notice that the portrait's eyes very unnervingly look as if they're moving with the photo. So like it's keeping its eye focus on you as the photo moves. And I need you to go ahead and make a sanity roll.
That is so creepy, dude. Yeah, no. That's one of my least favorite things, is the painting, just watching you.
27 out of 49.
Okay, you shrug it off to be like a weird, like just maybe like old photo effect, but it's definitely unnerving. And you go ahead and put it to the side. The next thing you pull out is a handwritten journal written in English, and it's dated from 1725. And I need you... It's actually an old English, so it's an archaic. So it is actually asking me for an English roll. Are you good at making an English roll?
60.
Go ahead and make it an English roll.
How does a 90 sound?
Sounds
Can
fun.
I should I use it? Should I do it? Should I spend fucking...
You could spend 30 luck, or you can attempt to push the roll if you're willing
I'll
to
push
risk
it.
ripping parts of these pages.
I'll push it.
Okay.
Can I use luck on the pushed roll?
That I don't know. That's a good question. If you can't, I may recommend that you want to look to your author friend.
I want to be the star here.
Luck rolls cannot, or luck points cannot be spent on luck rolls, adjusting damage, or altering the result and outcome of a pushed roll. So it says altering the result and outcome. So let me see if it says certain death, critical success, fumble. The result would be the result of the roll. So, yeah, you can't use it on a push roll. So I would recommend, if you really want to be safe and make sure you don't ruin any evidence, that you look to your author friend to help you with this. Otherwise, you could fully attempt to. Just know that you may risk breaking anything, and if this is important to the case, then it could mess things up.
Rupert!
Yes, Mr. Baker.
Can you read this? I found an old journal, and you might gain some insight. Being an author myself.
Let's see here.
Okay, make an English roll.
Here. English. I'm an English teacher now. Oh, good God.
What'd you get?
I fucked up.
Say it out loud.
I'm gonna use my luck.
How much luck do you have, dude?
I have a shit ton.
How much?
I had 80.
Oh. How much I can get?
Subtracting 20 will put me down to the base roll. Now I have 40 luck.
40. All right. So
Yeah.
you do make a success?
Yeah, I got a success.
Okay. So as you're reading through this, it's dated in 1725, and what you find out is it's like just a cursory overlook is that this is a journal of Milton Blackwood, and you find a section that describes a pact that the warlock made with a creature not of this earth. It's written, "Lo, the bond is set, the seconds sealed in blood. Wealth and good fortune shall forever flow through the Blackwood bloodline. The price is Christian blood that has been defiled through Sabbath rites."
You heard of the Sabbath rites? You know what that means? That was just ritual. Like they went to Hannah Montana concerts.
The second thing that you know is another piece of paper that is discovered at the end of the journal. "Unto the very ground I have bound the demon to the Blackwood bloodline. As long as a true Blackwood kin wears the ring, the creature will remain trapped, and its gift of good fortune will remain untainted. Let this ring never leave your finger. Let it pass from heir to heir on the deathbed. Never let the creature out, for its hate is unfounded, and it desires to see the extinction of the Blackwood name." You two read this, deciding what it means, when suddenly, Dr. Wilford, you find, digging into the floor, a ring.
Oh, let's
black
go.
ring. You pick it up in your fingers, and you lift it in your hands. You have it set firmly. They're often on the other side of the cellar reading something. What do you do?
I'm by the ladder, right?
No. You're on the other side of the house. Because you fucked up the ladder part first.
Then I'm just gonna announce, I found it. I found the ring. This is what I came for. And I want to start to walk back towards the ladder.
Okay, so you start to move in the direction of the ladder, and as you take that first step, the air gets precipitously colder. One step and you're already shivering. There's a staleness to the air now.
Does it unsettle me?
It unsettles you all. But that's not what fully shakes you. You start to hear voices, all three of you. They bounce around the cellar. "You shall not leave. That is mine. Give that which was not yours. You've bound me here." These voices are like ricocheting off corners. "I'll slaughter you all."
Yeah, I was trying to
and
be.
one word like hums in
Yeah.
Blackwood, 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 Blackwood.
Can I try to break into a sprint?
To break into a sprint?
Yeah, you know, like when you go to take the trash out at night and you think you're brave, and then you like get halfway back and you're like, "Never mind, I'm not brave," and you bolt to the front door, like that kind of sprint.
Okay.
Like he might even lose a shoe kind of sprint.
You go to make the sprint. As you turn the corner,
Oh no!
because you're on the long side of the
Oh, no.
of the cellar. The detective, you have a gun on you. I'm imagining, right?
Yeah, I have a 38 automatic pistol.
You pull it immediately because you start hearing things and it's unsettling. And so you have your weapon out, not pointed at anything, but out. All three of you begin to smell this this stench, like rotting eggs and like the open grave, right? Like dead bodies, dead corpses. You smell that smell.
That's just
Dr.
the gas
Wilford,
leak.
as you turn the corner, you see on the ceiling behind the detective and behind Rupert Greaves, there's a mass of shadowy black tentacles tipped with orifices that are ringed with needle-sharp teeth. The creature has no discernible head or eyes, but it has an undulating central mass from which these tentacles originate. And it's on the top of the ceiling, and it looks like it's breathing and swelling. And as you turn the corner, you stop. I need you to make a sanity roll.
I was gonna say, can I try to convince myself that this is all just in my head?
We may not know.
I got a 44 out of 59.
44 out of 59. So you do take some sanity. You take a D3. So I rolled a 6, so you take 3 points of sanity loss.
Okay.
And it's going to attempt to grab Rupert. So, Rupert, you don't see what's happened. You don't see this thing behind you. You have no idea what this thing is. When suddenly, these tentacles, these physical tentacles, attempt to wrap around you and to begin to pull you up into the air. Okay? So,
I'll get paid, dude.
what I need to go ahead and do is it's going to make an attack roll against you, and I believe you're capable of countering it with a maneuver.
Help! Please help!
like a dodge roll.
Police!
But you would have technically you'd have disadvantage on the roll.
Oh, my size is a 70. Yo, I'm kind of. Yeah, my dodge is not good. Wait, you said I have.
Yeah, you gotta roll a dodge. You have disadvantage.
I have disadvantage. I have 25.
Yeah, he does. Well, you didn't know this was gonna happen.
This is overkill.
I'm well aware. You're about to turn into Rosemary if you're lucky.
Well, I rolled a 95.
He's like,
Roll a 95. So you are immediately grabbed by one of these tentacles that wraps around you, and it wraps around your throat, and it picks you up by the head, and your whole body's dangling and flailing. And then it's going to go ahead.
I shoot it.
You go ahead and attempt to make a shot. So you pull your firearm and you aim it at this mass. And I need the two of you real quick before you do that to make a sanity roll, because you may incur enough sanity loss here, detective, that you might not be able to fire. So go ahead and make your sanity roll real quick.
A 39 out of 50.
Okay, so you're gonna still take.
Oh, sorry, 49.
Okay, so you take 2 points of sanity loss. Nothing to incur about a madness.
I got a 66 out of 42.
Okay, so you're gonna take a full D6, and you take 5. So you actually do suffer a bout of madness.
oh no, dude.
Oh, the cult Arthur can't handle it when he's actually out in the field, huh?
No. This is a little different because he's being choked. So,
Real monster.
Some people like that.
you're in. No,
I think he should be open to it.
No, not in this time period. Anyways, involuntarily you begin to scream, but this screaming is muffled because your entire face is covered by this fleshy tentacle. But you're screaming loudly. And your bout of madness is something that is known as scotophobia, which is a fear of darkness. You have hot and cold sweats that are filled with dread due to the limited light in the cellar and the fact that you can't see anything for being wrapped around by this tentacle. For the remainder of the game, if any light sources go out or fall on the floor, you must panic, and all actions except for combat suffer a penalty dice. And you would scream out something along the lines of like, "No, not the darkness, anything but the darkness." Right? You're just scared of the dark right now. Scared of the dark. Our detective is not terrified to the point. Our detective is not terrified to the point of being locked up. So you point this gun and you fire at this creature.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead and make that roll.
Don't shoot me.
I'm gonna have to use some luck points for that one.
Okay.
I rolled a 83, but my pistol is a 60, so I'm gonna use 23 points of luck.
23 points of luck as you quick fire. You're not normally a quick fire kind of guy, and so it's actually incredibly lucky that when you pull and fire, you actually strike this creature. So go ahead and roll some damage.
D10.
Yep. 10 points of damage. Okay, good to know. And then it's going to go ahead and make its second attack, and it's going to attempt to smack the gun out of your hand. So I need you to go ahead and make a dodge roll for me, please.
Bro, he's been watching those YouTube self-defense shorts, dude. The
Facts.
fucking, the fucking,
Facts. Actual
the fucking-
factual.
Okay. What am I rolling?
A dodge roll.
Okay.
Please be good.
Don't touch me.
You're a bad psycho.
I have 47 luck points left.
Here, I'm doing my job.
What'd you roll?
I'm
Right.
doing my
I rolled a 84. But-
Trust me, this guy rolled a 6, so you would have needed to have gotten an extreme success to have even for me to be willing to beat it. So this tentacle smacks out towards you. You take
I'm going that matter like a happy little
a
boy.
D4. Oh, I forgot. By the way, Rupert, you do take 4 points of damage from the tentacle wrapping around you. Yeah, 4. Yeah, 4. And then Detective, you take 3 points of damage as the tentacle smacks you and it knocks the gun out of your hand and it flies
Can I
off.
shout something?
What would you like to shout?
Stop! If we free you, will you let us leave?
Okay, as you shout that, you hear, Blackwood, I seek freedom. And it's holding Rupert, who you know is a Blackwood. We move to our psychologist, Dr. Wilford. What do you do?
Can I? Is it distracted enough that I can climb up the ladder?
Potentially.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so you run straight over to the ladder with the ring. You run to the ladder with the ring in hand.
I don't know what's going on right now.
You run to the ladder. You run to the ladder with ring in hand. You grab onto the ladder rungs and you start climbing up, and it's gonna attempt to grab you. So it's going to attempt to grab you by your ankles, and it rolled.
Kids and a dog.
It rolled a 21, which is a success. So
What do I need?
Bye.
you take 4 points of damage,
Oh no.
and it grabs you by the ankle and pulls you, and it's basically pulling you off the ladder, but you're holding on. And so as you're doing that, you hear this creature go, Blackwood, I will kill you.
No, I'm not a Blackwood. Let me go.
Wait, I need you guys to survive, or they're gonna think I killed you two, just like fucking.
Well, then you better go save your companions. Rupert, what do you do?
Well, I told them I'm not a Blackwood.
We'll get to that in a second.
Man.
So what do I do?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
would you like to
you're
do?
Good
Can I-
night, bro.
Can I break free?
You absolutely can attempt to break free.
You're definitely gonna.
You have to make a strength roll.
What?
A companion of yours could also attempt to free you if they were to sever one of these tentacles.
What am I gonna fucking sever it with?
I do faintly remember you holding on to a
Oh yeah.
ceremonial Union saber, which you would probably draw about now.
Is Catre? Never mind.
We'll get to that in a second. So make your strength roll.
What'd you get, dude?
82 out of 40.
Okay. As you attempt to grab onto the tentacle pieces and pull off, it tightens around your throat a little, just enough to keep its pressure, so that it has you dangling. And it kind of whips you a little bit, so your body like flails as it's kind of moving you, and it's still pulling with another tentacle on Dr. Wilford, and it says, "To Blackwoods, I'm very pleased."
No, I'm
Moving
not.
over to our detective, you draw this saber. You look at your companions who are being pulled, held. Who do you save? Who do you go to fight for?
I'm not a Black. I don't care what you say. I'm not a Blackwood.
I go to save. I can only save one of them.
No, well, right now you can. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, who do you go?
I go to save. I go to save the actual Blackwood because he didn't run away like a pansy.
That's
Okay, so you go to save Rupert.
Yeah, Rupert's staying alive for another day.
Cool. Go ahead and make an attack roll with the saber.
You're a fucking
How does an 11 sound out of 70?
An 11 out of 70. That's an extreme success.
Wait. Am I doing fighting brawl or strength?
It would be fighting sword, I think.
I don't have sword.
Let me see. Fighting skills. Call of Cthulhu.
This was a brawl.
Actually, I think you're right.
Yeah, it'd be fighting sword.
No way.
I don't have
What about
sword.
So then it would be just a 20% for you.
Okay.
That's the base. That's basically the base skill. So
That's
with an
it.
11, you still succeed. So go ahead and roll. Let me see what the damage is on a saber.
Hella damage.
2,000.
10d10. 100 damage.
Pull up a smaller weapons table, and we have hand-to-hand weapons. This would be a Cavalier Saber, which would be a D8 plus 1 plus your damage bonus.
Wow. You did one.
D8 plus 1 plus damage bonus?
Plus your damage bonus, yeah.
What's my damage bonus?
Let me see if it's on your character sheet.
It's strength based, isn't it?
Your damage bonus is a D4, so you get to roll an additional D4.
Remember, like a weird combination.
10 damage.
10 points of damage. You take this saber, you run it across the flesh of this tentacle, and it cuts clean through with surprising swiftness and speed and accuracy. And Rupert drops to the floor, clattering amongst the shelf and the gravel mix. The tentacle loosens, and he immediately pulls it off of his throat. And you see that the other tentacle is focused on the leg of Dr. Wilford. It is now going to attempt to grab another one of Dr. Wilford's appendages. This time it's going to attempt to grab Wilford's throat. And that is
God
a
damn.
37. And you take 1 point of damage. And it now officially has you held by two different appendages. And has now pulled you off of the ladder. And as it pulls you off of the ladder, your hands are now free. And you hear this creature like speak to you and just go, Blackwood number 1.
I'm not a Blackwood.
Liar!
I tell you, I'm just not. You can check my birth certificate. I'm trying to go home to my wiener dog. Can I go? The Blackwood is right there, and I'm gonna point at the Blackwood.
You point, and this creature goes, he's next.
No, he's the only one. The other one's not even a Blackwood either. Wallace
He speaks to you and goes,
I'm trying.
He speaks to you and goes, I can feel it, your blood. It's cursed. All Blackwoods must die.
No, you got it all wrong. I hate the Blackwoods. I'm trying to take down their family tree too. I've spent the last 15 years of my life getting close to their next heir. So
You're saying this as you're like choking on it.
Yeah. Sorry. I spent the next 15 years. I hate Blackwood.
You're supposed to moan in between.
No. The creature pulls you close to the flesh and goes, and I hate you more.
I'll drop the ring when I get to the top ladder.
Rupert, what do you do?
Well, am I free?
Yes.
After hearing that, can I attempt to take the ring?
No, I have it.
The ring is currently in Wilford's possession. You have no idea.
It's in my hand.
No, he called it out.
Yeah, but you don't know where.
Damn,
I can't even check.
No, it's a small ring in my hand.
You can make a spy hidden roll. You can make a spy hidden roll.
No way.
See?
No way.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a difficult roll. He can't just win on a normal success. You can make it. Don't worry, I'm not just saying, oh, you won it by 1 point. Go for it.
You are no fun, dude.
What do you mean I'm no fun,
You're
dude?
like a meta gamer.
You
Dude.
just say.
Oh, that's a 90 something. Never mind. I don't care anymore. 98.
No, I have advantage, dude. Remember?
Advantage on what?
No, you don't.
Advantage.
98.
Okay,
That's
you
my
don't
kid.
see it. You can't. He's flailing in the air. You can't possibly see it.
Wait, can I attack a creature?
With
Or
what?
is that
With what?
my fists?
You want to punch it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Those bugs, man, they're crazy.
Dude, I mean, fight for my life here.
Must have come from Wisconsin or something.
No, we're from New York. Fun bro. Okay,
What'd you get?
nice.
Oh, wow.
I got an 11.
An
So
11.
that would be
So you
a hard-
run up to the flesh of this creature that is available for you to punch, which is mostly just the tentacles that are wrapped around your companion, the psychologist, Dr. Wilfred. And the tentacle that has just been cut off flicks in your direction, splashing you with this thick purple ichor of blood that is all across your face. And you use this and punch at the tentacle, and you punch the tentacle. So how much damage do you punch?
1d3.
So roll a d6, and if it's a 1 or 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 2, 5, 6, it's
It's
3.
1.
So 1 point of damage. You pop, and you punch that tentacle. It's going to attempt to grab you by the throat again.
Oh,
It's
Katray, please don't let him touch you, dude. Please.
It's a 37, so it is a success.
Now you're covered in the same thing.
Dude, he can't fucking resist.
I need you to roll a dodge, because you can attempt to dodge it.
stuck. Oh, come on.
Nope.
Damn it.
Nope, don't even lie.
I got a 50. But wait, I can use my luck to succeed.
Okay, how much luck you got?
I have 40 luck left. I'm used 25 of it.
Okay, use 25 luck to get yourself to a success, and so I will say the tie goes to the player. So it goes to grab at your throat, and you duck underneath it and kind of do this little, bob and weave underneath it, and the tentacle lurches out and comes back in, and you just hear it, Blackwood.
Does some of the slime hit on his face because of how close it was?
Different tentacle. That was a different tentacle. And he already got a whole face full of it. I'm not going to say that again. Detective, what do you do?
I'm gonna go for the next tentacle holding Mr. Psychologist.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
Bye. 37.
37 out of 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a miss.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna use luck. Actually, this is life or death. I should use luck. Okay. Sorry, that was the process of me valuing your life, Nick. I apologize.
Really survive.
You said it's a 25 or is it a 22? What was
20,
it?
it's just a 20.
Okay, so I'll use 17 luck points.
Okay, so you hit. Go ahead and roll damage. It's a D8 plus a D4 plus 1.
Sever.
11.
11 points of damage. You cut into this tentacle and you sever it, and so one of the tentacle that now has him by the throat, you completely sever, and it drops to the ground, and now it's holding him upside down by the leg. It then makes another attack towards our psychologist, and now it's trying to grab him by his arm. And
Dude, I'm gonna end up cutting off.
That's gonna be a 37, so that's another success. So, psychologist, you take 2 points of damage.
That was through the table, dude.
Dude, I just keep getting grabbed.
And it is now your turn. What do you want to do?
What? Hater. I can't move. Can I move?
Not really.
Can I try to break free?
You can attempt to. Yeah, you need to make a strength roll if you think you're capable of fighting off this creature.
Why not, dude?
Why not?
Breaks a 30.
That's fine, dude. I'm gonna try to break free, man. Oh man. 60. Wait, how much luck do I have? Oh, let's go. Alright, 67. If I use 35. Can I push it? Can I push it? If I push it,
You can't push a combat roll.
what? Dude, how about this? If I
I don't
push it,
think so.
flying and I paralyzed myself.
Let me. You don't want to do that. Let me look it up real quick just to confirm. Do you push a combat roll in Call of Cthulhu? You don't get to push combat rolls.
Darn it, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm 2 points short there.
okay, so you're trying to fight back, but you can't really get purchase.
I'm stuck.
You start to feel the creature begin to pull.
Wait,
So-
can I? Oh, never mind.
I need you to make what skills do you have? Let me check.
A strength.
No.
What?
You've got to break free of the tentacle, bro.
You're gonna kill the psychologist, dude.
Hey,
You
dude, it's a soft science, anyways,
It's a
dude.
roll.
No, it's a liberal science.
It's a soft science, bro.
Yeah, soft science. I need you to make an education roll. This is called a no roll. So you need to make an education roll for me real quick.
Oh, Lord Almighty, have mercy. Oh, Lord had no mercy, dude. Lord had zero mercy. 92. 92.
Do you have any luck for that roll?
What's my? You said it's a. What is it?
You have a 70. Your education's a 70.
All right, yeah, I'll do it. Fine, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll meet it.
You spend the luck necessary for a success.
Yeah, that's 20. 20.
As it begins to pull at your limbs, it's pulling at your arm, it's pulling at your leg. You have a matter of moments before it rips these appendages clean off and you die. You faintly remember the fact that the author, your author friend, Rupert Greaves, had made a note that the ward, the sigil on the ground, it's a protective ward, but it's designed to bind something and restrain it. What if that's what the ring was for? What if that's why Arthur told his cousin to find the ring? When you listen to his recording, when you listen to his recording, he said, "A genie lives in the cellar, but to control it, you must find my ring."
No, I know, but I'm not putting that ring on, dude.
What?
No.
You're gonna die
If you
for
don't
it?
put, you
That's
think
bad.
to yourself that putting on that ring may be the only chance you have to live.
Oh,
If it controls this thing, then it's do or die.
Can I put it on right now?
You can.
How do I
You
put it
have
on?
it in your possession. So you watch as he frantically grabs a ring as it's pulling at his appendages, and he pulls it out of his pocket and he fiddles with it so that it fits on his ring finger, and with his teeth, he slides it down his ring finger on his left side, and the minute it hits the end, you hear this scream that goes, "What? No!" And the scream begins to turn into this high-pitched wail. The creature drops you, and it begins to look as if it's being pulled now into the sigil, which begins to light up with this weird, just eldritch energy. And as the creature gets pulled, you hear "Blackwood!" And it grabs onto both of the legs of the psychologist, drops you to the ground, and begins to pull you towards the circle. And as it's pulling, the detective frantically runs up with a saber and slices down. Make an attack roll.
This is when I fail, Nick. This is when I fail.
He rolls a fumble. He stabs in deep.
Oh, yikes, Nick.
What'd you roll?
Oh.
An 81.
An 81. You miss. And so as you're swinging, it's pulling so fast that you can't get purchase into it. And as it's pulling you, you hear this creature, and it's still speaking to you. "You're a Blackwood. I will get you. Your blood is cursed. I feel it. You're one of them." And as it's pulling and pulling and pulling, you're like, I swear, I'm not a Blackwood. You hold on to that ring.
I'm not a Blackwood.
And at the very edge of the sigil, the creature gets sucked into it. And it drops you, releases you. Your body does not go with it. The cellar. the cellar regains much of its temperature back rather quickly.
I climb the ladder. I get out of there.
You immediately run to the ladder.
I leave.
Blackwood ring on your finger. You grab onto the ladder and you rush up as quickly as you can.
But when I get to the top, I just lay down on my back and I just breathe.
Yeah, so you get out of the ladder and you get into the living room of the cabin and you lay on your back in the middle of the living room, a distance away from the trapdoor that goes to the cellar, and you just exhale.
Ooh. Wee.
Rupert. You watch him frantically run upstairs. Detective, you go and get your gun, pull it, and put it back in its holster.
Oh, Ethan, I want to take the ring off too, and I want to just go back to holding it in my hand.
Do you take the ring off?
No. I don't want to take it off until everyone else comes up.
Ethan, I'm gonna grab the bullet shell too.
Okay, you grab the shell, and you head up. Rupert,
I'm gonna climb.
You watch, well, before you do, you watch him climb up the ladder, the detective, and you look back to that moldy box that's been now scattered across the floor, and you can't help but be drawn to the two fragments of Milton Blackwood's journal that you read. And it's specifically the second fragment. As long as a true Blackwood kin wears this ring, the creature will remain trapped and its gift of good fortune will remain untainted. Let this ring never leave your finger. Let it pass from heir to heir on the deathbed. Never let the creature out, for its hate is unfounded and it desires to see the extinction of the Blackwood family name.
Looks like the Blackwoods get around then, huh?
Dr. Wilford put that ring on. That creature stopped.
Yeah.
I'm not a Blackwood.
You're
dude.
reading,
Yeah, you are, dude.
You're reading this paper. The only way that that's possible,
It's
the only way that it's
not,
possible is if you're related to the man upstairs.
my name is not Blackwood.
Neither is mine.
It's just not.
And you look back at it, and you think to yourself, he cannot remove that ring. If he's going to remove it, it must go to you. A Blackwood has to wear that ring lest that creature be released. If he takes that ring off right now, if he were to literally remove it,
Oh, did you know?
you'd be alone in this room with this creature.
Did you like get your head a little hard in there or something?
Rupert,
Are you okay?
Rupert,
You
you need
alright?
to tell him. Do not let that ring off. Don't take it off. You need to tell him now.
I know he wants to, yeah.
No, you
No,
don't.
you have a life or death sense of urgency. He needs to know.
I hate
But
the
you're
black.
stuck. You're stuck in this cellar. You're not stuck in the cellar. You're in the cellar. He needs to know. Do you shout it? Do you yell, or do you frantically run, hoping that he hasn't taken it off?
I would frantically run.
You clatter up the ladder as fast. That was fun. You clatter up the ladder as fast as you can. You get to the living room. You see him on his back, ring in hand, as he is going to take it off. He begins to slip it off of his finger. You got to do something, dude, because now I'm about to take it off.
Can I hold his arm down?
No, I've now taken it off my finger. He removes it. You see it happen, and you hear down from the cellar, Blackwood. What do you do?
Can I grab the ring? I want to grab the ring.
Okay,
Oh,
you dogpile on him and grab the ring from his hand.
No.
I need you both to make a contested strength roll.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. Come on, man. Oh, come on, dude. There's no way, dude.
I'm gonna use my luck. I'm gonna use 3 luck to succeed.
Huh?
Okay. You are just... So you knock it out of his hand. You knock it out of his hand and it clatters on the floor. But it's closer to you. So you grab it and you slip that finger on as you look at the cellar, and the creature's breaking out of the cellar in order to get up to you. Before it... no! And it gets sucked back into the cellar, and you hear the and then the silence.
What was that for? Why did you take that from me? I found it fair and square. Give it back.
Are you trying to get us killed?
No, I'm trying to.
You took off the ring and it brought the monster back.
What monster? That was. We were all clearly seeing something.
You've goddamn lost your mind.
Lost my mind.
For a psychologist.
Now, I can't believe our father made me a bastard to run off with your mother.
You're a Blackwood.
So are you.
Yes, I came in here with knowledge of being a Blackwood. We didn't know you were a Blackwood.
Well.
Mr. Baker, arrest this man.
Huh?
For what?
Arrest me for what?
Trying to get us killed.
I didn't try to get killed.
That's
I'm
not a
trying
crime.
to prove the innocence of Arthur. And I need that.
We're gonna walk the creature into the
No.
into the courthouse.
You're a delusional man.
You're a goddamn. I
I need,
can't even do this.
You need to give me the ring. I will report you to the police for theft.
You're not getting this ring.
Mr. Baker, that man stole my ring. He stole it from me. You want it. He assaulted me, and he stole my ring. I found it.
I think you're making.
told you that
I
was
think-
my only objective, was to find that ring to prove Arthur's innocence.
If you're not going to wear that ring, then I think you're making a very bad decision right now.
Well, I'll wear the ring if it means I get it back, but give me the damn ring.
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. You just
You
stole
damn
it from
took it
me.
off as soon as you put it on.
You ain't been honest since the moment that we all laid eyes on you, man.
You're the one who's been dishonest.
What do you mean dishonest? Dishonest? I ain't been upfront.
You
That doesn't
started
mean I've
ranting
been
your whole life
dishonest.
against me as soon as. I'm a Blackwood, but I hate the Blackwoods.
Just because you think that, oh, you're gonna put out this image of I'm so honest. I know that you've got other underlying intentions that you weren't telling the rest of us about.
I
And
don't.
that doesn't mean that we're any different. It just means that you stole from me. Give the ring back.
I'm just an occult writer.
And I'm
King
just
to help my cousin.
I'm just a psychologist trying to prove the innocence of Arthur. And you're the one impeding that process. Now, if we're going to have to get the law involved, I ain't got no issue with that.
The law's right there.
Exactly.
Mr. Baker's right there.
Hey, we both asked him our request. And Mr. Baker, we need you to lay judgment as an officer of the law.
He's a private detective. He's not an officer of the law.
I'm sorry.
I didn't tell them that. I didn't tell them that. They don't know.
As a third party.
He's a detective.
He's a private. He's a hired detective. He's got loose. He does have legal authority, but it's not that much legal authority.
It's enough to give the ring to one of us.
Now, Levi, you have to understand. Rupert is in fear of his life. That if you take that ring off, that he will die.
I'm in fear of my life because he just hit me in the face.
Rupert, don't play that card right now. I need you to understand.
You're saying Rupert is scared of ghosts?
I'm not.
You have a gun. You have a gun on your hip, and you're saying you're scared of ghosts?
All right, go back down there then.
Go back down there. I'll go. I want to go and peek my head over the ladder and shout, "Hey, anything down there?"
Now take the ring off, Rupert. Take the ring off.
Do it.
I'm not taking the ring off.
Do it.
Yeah, you see, he's got his head down the cellar, and he's like, "Hey, is anyone in here?" Silence.
I come back.
Yeah, you just...
Ghosts. It was ghosts. I found the ring. I shoveled through all of that that needs to be investigated. I don't understand how this whole whatever the heck we're in right now is not condemned to more police investigation. This is insane.
You know what? I'm not.
As far as what I have been hired for in my professional line of work, that ring is involved. I found it. I need it. And I'm not leaving without it.
This ain't
I
no
will-
keepers. Arthur's the one
No,
that asked me. He sent me the message.
he sent me. to
You're
prove
the
his
psychologist to
You're-
prove his innocence through his psychology.
Man,
So you don't need this ring.
I ought to.
This ring belongs to me.
All right, Mr. Baker, I want to file an official police report.
It is Rupert's ring. And that's where I stand.
You can take it once I'm dead. I'm gonna walk out the door.
Okay. You can you walk out the door where you know a car is parked outside.
As far as I'm concerned, the man was mentally ill. And I'm gonna step outside too.
Actually, you don't need to make that conclusion. You guys have a fragment of Rose's skull. You guys absolutely have more than enough evidence to indicate that while Arthur Blackwood may have been suffering from stress, there is no way that a human being was capable of doing this level of damage to a human being. And furthermore, having a strange symbol down in the bottom of the cellar obviously allows you to add some level of a third party, an unknown third party, be it a cultist or some insane person that had ripped this poor woman apart. But you can have more than enough evidence to cast doubt on whether or not Arthur Blackwood actually committed this murder.
You gotta play a character. This guy, he's not a good person, dude. He's a psychologist.
Psychologists aren't bad people.
They're not good people.
Yes, they are. Their whole point is trying to help
I
people.
don't know, man. He sounds like he's a little naive, dude.
What?
Sounds like he wants you to give him the ring. So you guys all leave the cabin. Wrestling with what it was that you just experienced in ways that you all see fit, whether it's to pass it off as a ghost encounter or something that could have been hallucinations and you guys were just fighting each other, or coming to terms with the fact that you fought with something otherworldly. You fought with a genie, and this genie is nothing like anything that you've ever encountered in story or tale, and it seemed grotesque and abhorrent and aberrant in many ways. And this unknown eldritch entity seems to be at the expense of Christian blood in the past, now offers a bountiful amount of wealth to the good fortune to the Blackwood family, kind of now corroborating this generational just good luck that they've seemingly been able to get by with. And you travel back to the offices of Joseph Klein, and you're able to prove Arthur Blackwood's innocence.
Nice.
That he's not reasonable as a suspect of dealing the amount of damage that was dealt now that you have a fragment of the body, because the biggest issue was that the body was never found. You found the body.
Did I get credit for finding the ring?
What was that?
Is my character credited as responsible for finding the ring?
You give your professional report as to the mental state of Arthur Blackwood, and you base your reporting based off of the very clean and kept nature of the cabin interior. And,
but I found a skull and a ring, dude.
Right, but that has nothing to do with the mental state of Arthur. That has everything to do with physical evidence that you found. The mental state indicates that the person who is residing in this cabin does not seem to be residing in it frantically enough to give any form of indication of derangement. And while
I was hoping for like a player gone Hollywood.
What was that?
I was hoping to like make a career change, like NFL player goes Hollywood.
What?
Well, this is a very, very big case, and to being able to provide a psychological review that actually gives credence to ensuring an innocent man doesn't go to the chair actually supports your business in such a way, because when capital punishment is a crime, back in the past, it's difficult to determine who, the degree of evidence that is capable of proving a man who's been accused if he finds himself in a situation like this. And so to exonerate a man who's found in the most unlucky, of all things, the most unlucky circumstances, is amazing. And it pays off incredibly well for you. Same for you as well, detective. Finding physical evidence and having it cataloged is a great thing for you in your business. As for Rupert Greaves, you go ahead and do you give that ring back to Arthur Blackwood, or?
Look for my writing.
Useless. You're a writer.
I'm God, author. What have you
Do
sold?
you give the ring back to Arthur Blackwood?
Nice, dude. Arthur's all right. He'll be
You
chill.
do?
Wait, I want to
Question.
ask.
Do you?
Why did it attack his wife in the first place?
Because it fell off.
It fell off? No, I'm not giving it back.
Okay, so you're not going to give it back to him?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so then we have to go to... We're still going to go to the scene. It's just you. You're there the day that they release this man from custody, and they release him to you because you're the closest family member that was available. And you're basically there to just drive him to his home and to drop him off and to ensure that he makes it home safely. He gets in the back seat of your car, and he sits inside the leather seats. He's an older gentleman, and his head looks out the window, and you get in. You're like looking in the rearview mirror as he's driving, and his head, he just seems distracted. He seems confused, and he seems overwhelmed and stressed, but slightly relieved. And he's just staring out the window. And
Weird bug. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you.
Did you find my ring, cousin?
I did. I found the ring.
Good. I'm assuming, and he kind of starts looking as if he's trying to look for your fingers that are on the steering wheel, and you have it on.
Yeah, I have it on.
So he sees it, and he goes, good. It's on a blackwood hand. Good.
Totally.
He's gonna kill you.
Good.
Unless he wants his luck really bad.
That ring is. I thought everything was just tale. I thought it was just story. And that all of it was fake. But I did a lot of reading while I was locked away. I was given access to the libraries. We have an ancestor, American ancestor, named Milton. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. That was a question. So you look back and you're like, no, not at all. He made a pact with a creature that endowed the Blackwood family line with uncanny luck, which manifested as wealth and good fortune. And the creature demanded payment in blood and bone for its gift. And Milton was happy to pay it. Over time, he kept tapping his genie for greater power and prosperity until he devised a spell that would trap the creature in the cellar for eternity, meaning his bloodline would continue to benefit from its gift of good fortune without a need for further sacrifices. The keystone to the spell is that ring on your hand, and it must be worn by someone of the Blackwood blood. As long as such a person wears the ring, the creature remains sealed below the cellar floor of the summer home. As the decades and centuries had passed, the binding ring was handed down Blackwood family line. The creature remained imprisoned beneath the cellar, but as time went on, the truth about the creature faded into myth and eventually was forgotten. The Blackwood ring was worn out of tradition, its true purpose all but lost living memory. Of course, no one in the Blackwood family ever questioned the uncanny good luck that the line enjoyed. I was chopping wood for a campfire outside the summer home. I took the ring off because I didn't want to get a blister. That's a common problem, getting a blister, because the axe pinches your ring against your skin. I didn't want to get a blister. I put it in my pocket, and he taps on his chest like a chest pocket. And Rose went to the cellar to get some vegetables, and the screaming began. I raced to the cellar. I watched her get ripped limb from limb. In the commotion, I must have dropped the ring from my pocket, because when I ran out of that house and I checked again, it was not on my persons. And you've locked it back away. Rupert, I'm not fit to wear that ring. And it has caused me no end of now dramatically emotional pain.
Oh, you should have. Would have been so good.
I do not want that ring back. I refuse to accept it.
It's fine, Arthur. I'll hold on to it. And I'll make sure it passes down the bloodline.
The Blackwoods will still be lucky. But you have to make sure that they know to not take that ring off. Your sons, your daughters, whoever you give it to. Because if you die with no heirs, it's gonna get released. You got a wife?
Do I? Do I just make that?
Yeah, yes or no?
No, I do have a wife. We've been trying to bear a child.
When you get home, you need to try harder.
He's family, dude. Come on, dude.
I'd say we've been trying for a child.
When you get home, you need to try harder. You cannot accept failure.
Freak. You're shame, dude. Shame.
And then he just solemnly goes back to staring out the window.
This is the 20s, doggy.
Jesus.
The Arthur that you've spoken with is nothing like the franticness of the Arthur that you've spoken with previously, whether in writing or on the recording. The Arthur that was been described to you, this like seemingly overwhelmed and broken man that broke and unleashed that brokenness on his wife and murdered her. This is a very, very intentionally collected Arthur who seems very perturbed by the events that he's experienced and the things that he's witnessed, but carries this transcendent knowledge of what that truly means with him, and seems to be fully aware of the dangers and the horrors that it presents to the world and the need for this to be guarded. And you see a brief tear drop down at the side of his cheek. And that's where our game ends. You guys succeeded. You survived and you didn't die. Good luck.
Oh, baby!
Good luck to you guys. For you guys. You guys did it. Like I said, this was going to be about an hour and a half if you guys weren't complete bumble. I was like, there's no way it's going to take over 2 hours. And it really didn't. We epilogued for a little bit. So we're somewhat on track. So that was actually pretty decent. So great work, guys. Amazing job. You guys did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I didn't know about that ring, dude. I was like, it's either in all this rubble or it's hidden somewhere. I'm not gonna look.
You went straight for it. You searched for it and worked hard to make sure that you had it in your possession. Man, I was like, oh, just put that ring on.
On the window and it fell out of his pocket.
What?
Did he because he said it was in his shirt pocket. Like, I'm just trying to like that would have sucked ass, dude. Like he leaned and looked through the window and then it just fell out of his shirt pocket. Like, oh,
yeah.
Fuck. So I've had that happen with AirPods. I'm like, oh man, dude, that's like the worst AirPod loss ever. It's just funny. No, that was fun.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I struggle with fucking Call of Cthulhu's,
Yeah.
but the one shots make it pretty easy.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to catch on to the game style and the gameplay, so that's all the fun and games. So, with that being said, we'll get ready to wrap up tonight's session. So, thank you everyone that's been watching. One of my really good personal streaming friends over at the Paladin's Keep has actually been chatting and watching in. So, Bonafide King, he's one of my close streaming buddies that I was able to connect with a while ago. He's an absolutely phenomenal streamer. So Bonafide's hopped in chat and put just a bunch of emotes. So thank you for that, and thank you for keeping us tapped up, Bonafide. I really appreciate it. Much love to you as always. But for everyone that's watching us on YouTube, thank you guys so much. Very grateful for that. And we're going to be making sure that this gets plugged in for you guys, and we're going to get ready for our next one shot, which we'll do next week, which is going to be the Necropolis. So we're going to continue. We got one more Call of Cthulhu game that we're going to play before we try to figure out what we're going to do after that while we're still working on characters for Curse of Strahd. And so we're going to be playing the Necropolis, set in November of 26th of 1924 in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. Almost exactly 2 years after Howard Carter discovered the tomb of the boy pharaoh Tutankhamun. So we're going to get some Egyptian horror, we're going to get some fun archaeological horror, some fun little Indiana Jones vibe with some spooky Call of Cthulhu-ness to it, which is going to be great. We'll get that all figured out and have fun with that when we get to that point in the game. It's got a couple more handouts, probably going to be a little bit longer, and of course it has a monster that is going to try to kill you. So we'll see if we actually get a death this time, as now you guys survived 2 of my one-shots. No one's died. It was really close to killing somebody, and you guys were really close to killing it. It had 12 hit points left.
Damn.
Had you not missed that sword shot, you had a good shot at killing it right then and there.
You could have fucking just killed it for him.
You could have, and it would have ended the Blackwood family luck. And that would have been very interesting to see that play out. But now the Blackwoods have perpetual luck as long as Cthulhu's character Rupert is capable of producing an heir and giving that ring to him when he dies and keeping the bloodline going. So all the fun stuff's about to get frisky at the Greaves house. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming for another great scenario. We're very grateful to have you guys here at the Couch Cooperative. We're very grateful for your presence, your time, and your focus. We hope you guys continue to stick around as we get excited for our Curse of Strahd full-length campaign coming up soon for you guys. Without further ado, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. Make sure you tell someone you love them, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
See you later.
And